Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pro Football Historian channel. I'm your host, Flynn Given. Today, we're going to change it up. We're actually going to preview Week 10 game, and also we'll quickly go over some things that happened in Week 9. So, obviously the Texans won. I guess it was a close game at half. Texans did run the ball against the Eagles, but obviously the Eagles are a much better team. Davis Mills threw some dumb picks, which led to the Eagles' victory. Obviously, this had a wild ending. No, it was about what probably people expected. The Chargers had a tough time stopping the run, but either team could have won this game. Obviously, there was that double fumble play then, and the Chargers win that game. Miami getting gashed with some quarterback runs this year. They haven't been as good as probably their talent is on the field defensively. A lot of that's just they try to blitz too much, but this game it was partially that, but they had a hard time stopping this offense. And look, Bears offensively have been pretty good the last few weeks. And then also Dolphins, they could have got 50 points this game. They had a few fourth downs they could have picked up. Ultimately, different reasons why they didn't. Obviously, they had one easy one that Tua missed in the flat on the right while moving, trying to throw across his body, kind of. Bengals, they just jump out, dominate the game. Mixon scores 5 touchdowns. Packers game. Look, Packers offense. Obviously there's some key turnovers by Rodgers, but which were pretty much on him. But other than that, the Lions didn't really do much to stop him. Just a lot of receiver issues, and even it's from the veterans, especially Sammy Watkins, but Alan Lazard making some mistakes. You have pretty much everyone receiver-wise making mistakes. And they had a lot of injuries. And Detroit gets that victory. Then the Raiders game. Raiders were up, did pretty good passing the ball, and then Jacksonville, after they kind of beat themselves early on, they came out and pretty much dominated the game after that. Another game they got was domination. New England, other than Jacoby Myers' fumble led to a field goal for the Colts. Completely controlled this game, played it smart, didn't turn over, didn't try to do anything too much. They could cause a turnover for their offense. Played it safe, and they came out of the victory. And obviously, we got that Jeff Saturday hiring and Frank Reich firing after this game. You got the Jets upset. Josh Allen threw 2 bad interceptions. They ran the ball pretty good. It's a similar offense to the Packers. They did pretty much what the Packers did. And Bills got gassed a few times. Had a hard time stopping the run. And Zach Wilson took care of the ball, and they eke out the victory. A lot of self-inflicted wounds by the Bills. And now Josh Allen's hurt. We'll see if he plays this week. But, both teams Bills are not in a terrible spot. They're 6-2, still fine. And the Jets, they're exceeding expectations. I could see them getting the 8-9, 9-8. Thought it was unlikely, but they're headed that way. Vikings, they were pretty much Washington gave them a shot. I thought they matched up well, Washington. And Heineke doesn't turn over. They make a few mistakes late in the game. They probably win the game. And then Arizona, they couldn't do a lot. They got the 21, but it's just very hard for them to move the ball. And then Seattle, after the pick 6, Geno Smith threw, pretty much didn't get stopped the rest of the game. And following the other game, 4 o'clock, the Rams, they got pretty much could barely do anything. Had 3 good drives the whole game. But they had the lead late in the game, and they, I will say, blew it. They had their opportunity. They played. After they gave up the big play down the middle, they played so much prevent, just allowed the Bucks get down to the 1 yard line pretty much. I was a penalty, pass interference, or whatever occurred in the end zone also. But once they got down there, it was just going to be hard to stop on the 1 yard line, whoever the offense is. And they blow it. They could have been 4-4. Like, it's right in the division race, and now Seattle's 3 more wins than the Rams. I know the Seahawks haven't had a bye, but it's just not good. And Buccaneers now leading the division at 4-5. Got the Titans. I played conservative. I thought they should have maybe did some more runs, especially quarterback runs or something different. It was really traditional for the most part. And Kansas City, very tough for them to do anything. Titans defense was great in this game and great since, week 3 or so. It took Kansas City, it was really hard for Kansas City and pulled it off in overtime. Finally get some going late in the game. And then Ravens Saints, basically, Ravens, for the most part, dominated the game. Saints couldn't really do anything. And they come out with that victory. So that was, 6 minutes going through those games very quickly. You got Atlanta and Carolina yesterday. And what is there to really say? Atlanta really couldn't do much. And there was a lot of drop picks. Obviously raining. Panthers ran the ball again against them. And it was enough to come out with the victory. Got the Germany game. Interesting game. This is one of the more interesting 9:30 games Eastern time that the NFL's really had. Seattle, that the team has played pretty good, and you got a team where the Buccaneers are getting a little bit healthier. We'll see where they are. But I didn't get any signs from last week that their offense is fine. So, I would probably lean to Seattle in this one, which is surprising to say. Just they look like a good team, and they play hard, and for the most part, they don't do a lot of dumb things. And, they know what they are, and they play to it. In this game, I don't know if Case Keenum's going to be playing. Maybe the Vikings win this game because of that. But I'm just going to take the Bills. I think I could be wrong on this. Obviously, it was Case Keenum's playing. But I think there's just a lot of talent. I think they kind of match up well for Minnesota again, just kind of like Washington. And then they know how to. I think they can play Minnesota in a low-scoring game, mid-scoring game. And whoever the quarterback is, I think they'll have enough offensively. Maybe not so in the run game, but I think they can do enough in the passing game to win the game. This one was going to take the Bears. Didn't really have any signs of the Lions defense turning it around. Maybe they'll be playing a little bit better than in the past few weeks, but I'm going to go with Chicago. The offense has played well. Now, this should be a shootout. This could be a high 30-point game for one of these teams, if not both. We've already seen Detroit and Seattle go there. So, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to go with Chicago at home. This game, I'm just going to go Kansas City. I know Jacksonville's defense does match up somewhat well against them. But I just can't see enough from the Jags offense. And I don't know if they're going to stop Kansas City that much. So I'm going to go with Kansas City on this game. I think this game, though, I think the Browns are going to make it definitely close, if not win this. I have a hard time picking against Miami. But I don't know if they could take advantage of the Cleveland Browns' run defense. And I think their defense is like the soft coverage and zone defense. I think that would play pretty well against this attack. I'm going to go with Cleveland. I'm not confident in it, but I think also they can run a ball against Miami. I think this gives them a shot to pull off this victory. This game, I'm going to go with the Giants. I think it's pretty simple. I mean, it could be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised without that, but I think the Texans could run the ball pretty well. So I think this is going to be a close game. I'm just going to pick the Giants. I think they're a better team, better coach team as well. This is another tough game. I hate to pick against the Saints. I usually pick them. I like their team. Maybe not the quarterback play too much, but just the injuries, the short week, Pittsburgh with a longer week. I don't know if I really trust Kenny Pickett either, but I'm just going to go with the rest disparity here and go with Pittsburgh at home. This should be a low-scoring game. Both defenses are great. Maybe I think Broncos are off a bye, so this gives them a chance. Maybe they can fix their offense. It's more, I think, Russell Wilson, but I'll go with Tennessee. I think the better team. I don't know who the quarterback will be. I think Tannehill will play, but could be wrong on that. Leaning Tennessee there. And then this. I mean, this is kind of tough. I'll go with the Raiders, but just since maybe all the coaching, if you want to even call it dysfunction, a lot of firings, I don't know what to expect from the Colts. I don't really expect much, I guess, is the thing. Get Sam Ehlinger. The offense is not great. I think the Raiders at least can score some points. Even the Colts defense can give them problems, but even last year, Raiders beat the Colts in their place. And I know his new coaching staff for both teams, pretty much, you could say at this point. Just going to go with the Raiders. I don't want to be surprised either way. And this is a game, I think Packers, if the receivers can just run the right routes or do their job, as simple as that, they can have a functional offense. But again, it's been 9 games where it really hasn't been that. Though I think they can run the ball. I think they'll keep this closer than expected. So, again, Dallas should win this game. Green Bay can make this close, especially run the ball. They're home. They haven't been home in a bit. So, again, either way, especially against the spread, probably lean the Packers, but Dallas should win this game. Green Bay's season's pretty much over. And then we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Is it going to be Kyler Murray? Is it going to be Colt McCoy? The Rams going to have Matthew Stafford? Is it going to be John Wolford? I'm going to go with the Rams. They're home. Even though I know they lost a regular season game at home against the Cardinals last year. I don't know. I just more confident in the Rams defense, I guess. Even though I think the Cardinals, Vance Joseph over there has done a good job with what he's had. What he has, as players he has. Yeah, I'll just go Rams, but you wouldn't be surprised either way on that. This is a game 49ers. See him winning. I don't really see the Chargers stopping it. Unless the 49ers make a bunch of mistakes or Chargers some reason get a bunch of big plays in this game, which I don't really see either. 49ers are getting healthier. Going them. That was the game. I mean, look. Washington gave up 9 sacks in that first matchup. I don't really expect that. You get a different quarterback in play. He played. He had a very close game, and they probably should have even won that game last year. I think that was the first win on this winning streak the Eagles have had, if you don't count the playoffs, obviously. It started in this Washington game last year in Washington. I think Washington will make this close. I will not pick them to win this. I'll pick the Eagles. I think they're definitely the better team. But, again, I wouldn't be surprised. This defense could make it a little tougher than most teams have against the Eagles. So, again, leading there. That's every game. We did it week 9 and week 10 in less than 15 minutes. Enjoy the games this week and have a great day.